Welcome clients and guests to my channel. I'm Jason Serro and I'm a licensed professional counselor. My videos are designed to educate and empower you to make informed decisions about your mental health. Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jason Serro. I'm a licensed professional counselor and I provide therapy to people of all ages and mostly all conditions. So take a look at this video where I talk about interpersonal effectiveness skills, which is part of dialectical behavioral therapy. In my previous videos, I went over mindfulness, I went over what DBT is and kind of the concepts of it. And I also went into some advanced skills of mindfulness. So take a look at those videos and you'll have a better understanding as to that component. This is the second component, which is about being interpersonally effective. This is where you learn to negotiate better on your behalf to get more of what you want in a very assertive and but straightforward way. So this includes effective strategies for asking what you need, saying no, and coping with interpersonal conflict. This is the ability to analyze a situation and to determine goals, and that is crucial. There's four concepts: attending to relationships, balancing priorities versus demands in life and relationships, balancing the wants to shoulds ratio in life and relationships, and building mastery and self-respect. So the first one, attend to your relationships like you would attend to a garden. Unattended relationships are stressful and can blow up. Relationship maintenance is similar to keeping your house in order, changing the oil in your car. When you don't do these things regularly, they fall apart. Spend time with loved ones, listen, care for yourself and others. So be really present and be really mindful as to how well you're taking care of those relationships that mean something to you. You have to pay attention to them. The second one is balancing priorities versus demands in life and relationships. So priorities are things that are important to you. Things you want to do or get done. Demands are, or some people will put it as obligations, are things that others want you to do for them. To balance this better, create a Venn diagram that is titled My Priorities, Other Priorities for Me, and Priority for Both. Do one person at a time. So for example, someone might say that they have these huge family obligations, that their priority is not to do some of the caretaking, for example, like childcare, which is a common one that comes up. And their priority is to have better self-care, focus on their work, focus on maybe some of their activities or hobbies. And they have this huge obligation with their family, that there are demands put on them which can interrupt and disrupt their day. So it's about balancing your priorities versus other people's priorities for you. And a Venn diagram is a really good way to do that. Wants are things you do because you want to do them, or because they give you some pleasure or there's some value. You really want to do this. Shoulds are things that must be done because there is a particular reason behind it. I want to go for a walk. I should do physical therapy for my knee. I want to go to a nice restaurant. I should eat something today. I want to go shopping. I should get an oil change. So you want to be able to, for your own life, try to pick out what those wants are and what those shoulds are. Number 4, building mastery and self-respect. Another really good skill. Doing things that make you feel competent and effective builds mastery. Trying difficult things, overcoming obstacles, not shying away from things that are difficult. Maybe you'll fail a couple of times, but you get back up and you keep going. You be resilient. Getting up after falling down builds mastery. Self-respect means you stand up for yourself. You express your beliefs. You follow your wise mind. And wise mind is in my previous video, so if you haven't seen that one, check it out. It talks about the 3 components of our wise self. And do what is moral. There's 2 types of interpersonal skills. The first is asking for things, making requests, and initiating discussions. You have to ask for things. You have to ask a question. You have to make a request. You have to give the person the chance to say yes or no to whatever it is that you're asking. The second part is saying no, resisting pressure, and have a point of view. So this is more about your boundary. When someone's pushing you on something and you believe firmly you shouldn't do it, you have to assert no. And if someone is pressuring you or guilt tripping you, that's a big one, making you feel bad about not doing what they want you to do, being able to deflect that and continue staying with the no. That's not going to happen. And you can also have your viewpoint, whether they listen to it or not, or care about it or not. If you feel compelled to tell your viewpoint as to why, that is being assertive, and that is being respectful to yourself. So one of the other skills is called Dear Man, and they put it under the category of effectiveness skills. And I'll get into Dear Man here. So the D stands for describe. Describe the situation. Describe the facts of the situation you are reacting to. Be objective and refrain from judgments. Just state the facts. Be objective. Do not cloud it with judgments. For example, this is the third time I have asked you to help around the house. You're just stating that this happened 3 times. This is the third time I asked you. Another example, I worked overtime last week and didn't get paid for it. It's leaving out the fluff. It's just getting right to the point. It's very direct. It's very assertive, and you're describing what happened. Express. So the E in Dear Man is express. Explain feelings or thoughts about the situation, and don't expect the person to be able to read your mind. We do get caught up in that often, where we do expect people to read our minds, even if they know us. Even if they know us really well, we do sometimes have that expectation. Well, you do know me. You should know what I want. You should know how I think. It's not good communication. So an example here would be, it's very difficult for me to do what you're asking, so I have to say no to you. It's very direct. It's very to the point, and you're not even really giving a reason. Sometimes you don't have to. You just need to state that it is difficult, and you have to say no to that. In Dear Man, the A stands for assert. Ask what you want, and do not tell them what they should do. So for example, can you help me out today by picking the kids up after school ends? You're not saying at the end there because you should, because you're a parent also, and you should do what I've been doing for years. Just ask the question and make it direct. Another example, I cannot keep giving you a ride or picking you up every time you need me to. Again, that's a boundary. That's stating what you are willing to do and what not willing to do, and you are not willing to give a ride every time that you need me to. Reinforce. Reward people who respond positively when you ask for something. Say no or express an opinion. For example, I appreciate you taking the time to consider what I am asking from you. It really means a lot to me. So if someone responds in a neutral or positive way to you, you saying no or just expressing your thought, and they're not judgmental, they're not critical of you, you just let them know that you appreciate them being open-minded. It's very difficult to have a conversation with a closed-minded person. Speaking of mindful, the M is mindful. Stay mindful. Maintain your position, stay focused, and don't be distracted. So a lot of people use distraction techniques because they themselves are disorderly and chaotic and distracted. So they'll move from one thing to the next. So you have to do, like in relationship therapy, we call it stay on beam. That's where you have a topic or a viewpoint that you really want to go more into, so you stay on that topic. Don't get sidetracked or sidebarred, or someone pulls you off of it for various reasons. Sometimes it's manipulative. where they want to take you off of that idea. Stay on it and make sure that you are staying firm on your belief. Repeatedly express your opinion. Ignore diversion tactics by others. All sorts of mind tricks that people play. We want to stay consistent. Appear confident. Use a confident voice tone while maintaining strong posture and appropriate eye contact. No stuttering, whispering, looking at the ground, saying you don't know or that you're unsure. If you don't know or you're unsure, go off on your own, figure it out, formulate an opinion, and really express that confidently. And make sure you have good posture. You look at the person, you don't have to look straight in the eye, but looking forward and making sure that the person hears what you have to say. Now, again, actually, I should probably take that back. You can't force someone to hear what you have to say. But as long as you feel that you have expressed it the way you clearly, concisely, and assertively, then you've done your job. Negotiate. Offer and ask for alternative solutions to the problem. Maintain your no, but offer to do something else. So negotiating is, so one of the skills they say is turn the table. Ask them what they think you should both do. Can we come to terms? Negotiating is really about a give and take about what you want, and you can, I mean, we do it all the time. We negotiate chores in the house, we negotiate responsibility with the kids, whether it's directly or indirectly. But really here, there's different ways of looking at it. You look at it like in a negotiation, both people win. Or if you're going to look at it the other way, in a negotiation, both people will lose something. But ultimately, you're trying to gain something of value, and both people want to come away feeling like they won something. I think that's more my viewpoint on that. And you also have to, with negotiate, and last thing I'll add here, is that I think you've got to really determine in your mind, is this a reasonable person that I am trying to negotiate with? So someone is unwilling to bend at all on some concept that probably isn't even that important to begin with, because there are a lot of situations that aren't that serious. If they're really just one-sided and single-minded and very rigid, you're probably not dealing with a reasonable person. So I think we'd have to look at other things. Tune into my next video. It'll be about distress tolerance skills. And thanks so much for watching. Be where you are. Be resilient.